Right, hello everyone. Bit of a crash course in phonics and the way it all works. First thing we need children to understand is that when we actually speak, we create words, and we use our lips, our tongue, our voice to make those words, and all of those words are made up of units of sound. So before you even start about writing and reading, it's all about recognising words that we say and how we can break those down into sounds. That is phonics, okay? And phonemes are the sounds that we make. So these can be broken down into vowel sounds, which are the sounds made at the back of the throat. So a, I, or a, e, I, o, u, but all the other sounds like and oo and ow and air, they're all the vowel sounds. And then consonant sounds are made at the front of the mouth, and we use our lips, our tongue, our teeth for that, such as b, d, t, f, g. Some of them are made at the back of the throat like ng and unk, so they're our nasal sounds, but they're still consonant. And out of interest, you also partner them up as well into voiced and unvoiced. So a lot of sounds have a voiced version and an unvoiced version. An example of this would be f, v. So the v I use my voice box for, and the f is made exactly the same way using the front of my mouth, but I don't use my voice box. Another example would be d and t. T is unvoiced, d is voiced, using exactly the same technique at the front of my mouth. And another example would be s and z. So the z uses the voice box, the s doesn't use the voice box. So all the sounds have voiced and unvoiced partners as well. Just may be of interest to you. Now, when it comes to actually learning the written code for phonics, we do need to distinguish them. We've talked about phonemes being the actual sounds we use. Well, the grapheme is what we actually write, the letter combination, so what we write and what we read. So we can start off with our single letter graphemes, which are just literally single sound pictures for single sounds. So examples of that would be our short vowel sounds, so a, I, o, and a. And then we've got our consonant ones. If you start at the beginning of the alphabet, you've got b, d, k, f, g, etc., all the way through. We then move on to digraphs, which are, as it kind of implies, are two-letter combinations. So the grapheme is the picture we write, and it involves two letters. So in vowels, that could involve sounds like a, but that might be spelt like that, or even like that, as in face. And then we've got we can also have consonant digraphs, where two letter combinations are used to make a single sound at the front of the mouth. So th, ch, sh, f, l, s, z, etc. And we can also get trigraphs, where we have three letter combinations. Now these don't involve consonants, they're usually just the vowels, but we've got sounds like air, I, ear, all of those use three letter combinations, so they're called trigraphs, but they just make a single sound when put together. Okay, bit of an explanation about sound buttons and sound bars now as well, because you'll see those referred to. When children are breaking down words, if we look at a word, for example, like splash, first thing we'll look for are digraphs, so two letter combinations make a single sound. So we've got sh there, so we can put a bar under that to indicate the digraph. Could use the same bar for a trigraph as well. But then we also look for single letter or grapheme sound pictures as well for a single sound. And we've got the s, the p, the l, and the a. What we also look for children to do before they actually break down the word is look for blends or single sounds that can be put together or blended together. And we can clearly say we've got the spl there. So we can actually glue that bit together. So when they start building this now, they've got splash, splash. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sounds. Bit of advice on the E modified vowel as well. That's when the vowel sound in the word is actually changed by an E at the end. An example of that would be fine, for example. If I write the word fin on its own, that has your three sounds there, with the short vowel in the middle, I, for in. However, as soon as I put an E on the end, that modifies this vowel over here and it becomes for ein, so the I changes to an I sound. And what we encourage children to do is recognise that there's an E at the end of the word which is going to affect the sound of that, and we ask them to connect the two with a smile. So we know that is now an I sound, because that's the sound grapheme for I, and we've now got fine rather than fin.